Today, we are diving deep into the hidden world that makes our modern lives possible. We're talking about warehousing, the unseen, incredibly complex journey your stuff takes long before it ever shows up on your doorstep. So, let's get into it.
Seriously, have you ever really thought about it? You find something you love online, you click buy, and then, like magic, a couple of days later, or maybe even a few hours, a box just appears. But what actually happens in that in-between time? Where is that thing just waiting?
Well, here's your answer. It lives in a place that looks something like this. A huge, hyper-organized, almost futuristic building called a fulfillment center. This, right here, is the beating heart of e-commerce. It's where all the magic, or, all the logistics, really goes down.
But to really understand the whole journey, we can't just start here. We have to rewind. We have to go all the way back to the very beginning, before that thing you bought was even a thing.
This chart gives you that big picture view. It all starts with raw materials, which get turned into products in manufacturing, and then, eventually, they find their way to you, the consumer. But look at the word that connects every single one of these steps. Logistics. And a massive piece of logistics is simply moving things and storing them.
And we can break that journey down even further. You've got supplier logistics, which is getting materials to the factory. Then there's internal logistics, which is moving parts around the factory. And finally, customer logistics, which is all about getting the finished product out to the world. And guess what? Each one of these phases needs its own kind of storage, its own kind of warehouse.
And the variety is just incredible. I mean, look at this. On the left, you've got raw materials, a yard full of logs, just waiting to become, well, anything. And on the right, brand new finished cars, ready to hit the showroom floor. So warehousing isn't just one thing. It can be a simple outdoor lot, or it can be a massive, high-tech, climate-controlled facility. Okay, so once a product is actually made, it enters this really cool phase that I like to call the Great Warehouse Shuffle. This is not about long-term storage. This is a fast-paced, highly coordinated dance where goods are constantly being sorted, regrouped, and sent back out the door.
So the first move in this dance is often consolidation. Think about it. If a big retail store is ordering from 10 different small companies, it's way more efficient to send all 10 of those small shipments to one central warehouse first. There, they get bundled together into one big, full truckload. It just saves a ton of money and time.
Then you've got my personal favorite, cross-docking. This is warehousing for people who are in a serious hurry. The whole point of a cross-docking terminal is to avoid storage altogether. We're talking goods coming in one door from a truck, getting sorted, and going straight out another door onto another truck, sometimes in just a couple of hours. Speed is the name of the game.
And this diagram shows you exactly how that works. You see the trucks from company A, B, and C all showing up? The goods get unloaded, quickly sorted on the dock, and then reloaded onto new trucks with a specific mix of products for each customer. It's a logistical ballet, and it has to move perfectly. And of course, you have to be able to do the exact opposite of consolidation. That's where a break bulk warehouse comes in. This is where one massive shipment, like a whole shipping container full of a single item, arrives and gets broken down into smaller, more manageable shipments to be sent out to different regional stores.
Now, to manage all of this complexity, a lot of companies used what's called a hub and spoke system. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like an airline. You fly from a small airport, a spoke, to a big hub airport, change planes, and then fly out to another spoke. It's the same idea, just with packages instead of people.
So, after all that sorting and shuffling, our product has finally reached the last stop on its journey before it gets to you. And this last warehouse is often the most amazing, the most technologically advanced one of them all. This is where human skill meets robotic power on a mind-boggling scale.
This place is the distribution center, or as you've probably heard, the fulfillment center. And for these buildings, location is everything. They are strategically placed near big cities so that companies can make good on those promises of next-day or even same-day delivery that we all love.
Now check out the difference here. On the left, you have a pretty standard, traditional 8-step process for a warehouse. But on the right, that's Amazon's model. It is built from the ground up for one thing, getting individual customer orders out the door at unbelievable speeds. And it all leads up to this final, brilliant step called SLAM. That stands for Scan, Label, Apply, and Manifest. It's this one super fast station where a machine confirms the right item is in the right box with the right shipping label for the right person. It's an incredible quality control check that happens in seconds. Just genius.
Right. None of this shuffling, sorting, and shipping would even be possible without some seriously powerful machines. So let's take a quick look at the heavy metal that makes the entire modern supply chain go.
For anything coming from overseas, the journey on land often begins right here, with these absolute giants. These port cranes pluck 40-ton shipping containers off of massive ships like they're toy blocks. The scale is just hard to even comprehend. And once that container is on solid ground, its journey is far from over. Machines like these, intermodal cranes, seamlessly lift the containers from trains and place them onto trucks or the other way around. The goal is to keep the cargo moving, always moving.
Then we move inside the warehouse itself, where for decades the undisputed king has been the forklift. It's the powerful, nimble workhorse that keeps everything flowing. But in those super advanced fulfillment centers we talked about, the king now shares its throne. Today, you'll see whole fleets of autonomous robots gliding across the floors, bringing entire shelves of products directly to human workers. It's this perfect symphony of human smarts and machine stamina.
So, we've seen the journey, we've seen the different warehouses, we've seen the giant machines. But why is getting all of this right just so critically important?
Well, because when it goes wrong, this is what you get: a crushed box, a damaged product. And that's not just a bummer for the person who ordered it, it represents a failure somewhere in that incredibly long and complex chain of movement and storage. The entire point of this whole system is to make sure this never ever happens.
You know, I absolutely love this quote because it takes this giant industrial idea and makes it completely personal. Just think about your own refrigerator for a second. You receive groceries, you stow them on the shelves, you pick an item when you want it, and you manage your inventory so you don't run out of milk. We're all, in a way, managing our own tiny little warehouses every single day.
So there it is, a peek behind the curtain of the world of warehousing. And I'll just leave you with this one thought. The next time a package shows up at your door, will you maybe see it a little differently? Will you think about the cranes and the robots and the sorting hubs and the incredible unseen journey it took just to find its way to you?